I pushed my nanny to the ground, and she never got back up again. I was around 7 years old when this incident happened. My nanny was always around. She'd fetch me to and from school, prepare my meals and help me go to sleep sometimes in the afternoon. One day in school she accompanied me to buy food, but I had no money and she had nothing extra with her too. As a kid, I was very grumpy, so I pushed her and she never got back up again. Got scared and called the school guard to help her to the infirmary. Her family said it was best to put her to their house so they can take care of her properly. After a few days she literally can't walk or even walk properly, and she spent months lying on her bed, which soon became her deathbed because of bed sores. That's what my mom and dad said. I'm not sure what caused her death, and I have no idea if she had an illness before like an arthritis or something. But I know now that I had a part of her death, and realizing it now, I can't go back to sleep, so I needed to let this off my chest. I have never told this to anyone, so please go easy on me. When I was small, I remember that I laughed at a person for having 3 fingers, not because of his misfortune, but because he looked like a T-Rex. It was awful and I was only around 10 years old. I should not have done so and still feel guilty. My father shamed me horribly. I understand now the consequences and really think about it a lot. When I see a handicapped person, I remember him and just feel guilty. Now as an adult, I try to leave places where people are kinda handicapped, not because of them but because of me. Mind you, I'm a grown adult. Wherever you are, I'm sorry I laughed. I hope you got better. I hope no one ever laughs at it or something. God, I feel like crap. I might have outed a dude, and this could have had horrid consequences. In grade 8, this kid told me he was gay. Now he was also a really weird kid. He was autistic and had a very short temper and would have meltdowns in class. He also had an extremely high voice and acted feminine. I'm pretty sure we all thought he was gay. I remember telling a friend I also thought he liked my crush and asked my friend whether she thought so too. I know that he was bullied for being autistic, but there were other queer kids in school who were getting along fine. He attempted suicide that year and died. If it was because of me. I later learned that his parents were abusive. I'm obsessed with whether if someone bullied him for being gay, it would be my fault. If someone overheard and bullied him, it would be my fault. I'm obsessed with whether or not it's my fault. See, he tried that. I also have hormogged, so this is just a huge, horrible, messy guilt spiral. He's never confronted me about it and I've never gotten in trouble, and the kids I told were pretty unpopular, and I asked if they would bully him. It's been 2 years since this happened and he was alive and sane to school before quarantine started. I had no idea what consequences could happen if I told a few friends. I just don't know what to do. I mean, should I ask him? He's never said anything to me, and he's usually okayish. We were friends in grade 9 actually, and the thought that his suicide attempt was my fault never crossed my mind until my oct, so I've been stockpiling the personal information of complete strangers. I work in a waste transfer station and people constantly ignore the signs and throw their garbage in our recycle bin. Every time they do, I have to manually pull it from the bin and bring it to the garbage compactor. I always rip open the bags and look for identifying info. I have dozens of names, addresses, phone numbers, and several social security numbers of these offenders. I haven't done anything with this information and not sure why I'm still doing it. I'm pretty sure it involves this fantasy in my mind where I let loose all this information for the internet to dox at their leisure. The smug satisfaction of knowing I could fuck with these offenders is one of the few things that make this job more tolerable. When I was 10, I bullied a boy and I worry that I may have cost him his life. For context, I am now 17 years old and gay. When I bullied this kid, we were both around 9-10, and I didn't know I was gay at the time. I was about 12 when I realized. Truthfully, I can't remember everything I did to him. Luckily, it was never physical, but it was definitely emotional and verbal bullying, which is still terrible and just as harmful. I was really cruel to him. I would call him names, corner him with some of my other friends, and verbally attack him for being gay when we had no idea. It was just that he wasn't like a stereotypical boy. It pains me to say this because looking back, I realize he was such a kind and funny kid. He had dyslexia, I think, but he was still very smart and tried hard in class. About 2 years after the bullying had stopped, I realized I was gay. It was the hardest thing I've been through, and it was a very long struggle of acceptance and being comfortable with my sexuality. I suffered several mental health conditions, and it put a dark cloud over my adolescent years, and it's only now that I am finally seeing the light at the end of all of that. I was bullied verbally, in a similar way to how I bullied him, but not as aggressive and relentless. I deserved it, and I deserve more than just the bullying I got. As a 17-year-old, I am a very kind and compassionate person. If you ask anyone around me, they would be shocked and wouldn't believe you if you said that I was a bully when I was younger. I have tried countless times to find him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and I've had no luck. I wish I could find him, apologize, hug him, and tell him how sorry I am for what I put him through. I know how important mental health is. My struggles have affected my studying, and this boy already has a disadvantage, so my bullying no doubt made his life socially, internally, and academically challenging and painful. I actually think we would make good friends. Based on who he was back in junior school, we would be quite alike nowadays. I feel terrible for what I did. It often keeps me up at night. I cry about the pain I put him through, and the struggles I had damaged me in so many ways, but I inflicted more damage upon him than I had inflicted upon me, so I can't imagine what he went through. Sometimes I worry that he is no longer with us. I worry that he was bullied even more after we went to separate schools, because as disgusting as it is to say, he is the type of kid that gets bullied. He is the quiet, different, and feminine kid that makes him an easy target, and I worry that if he has taken his life, that I have played a role in that, and I could never forgive myself if I had. I doubt I will ever find him and get the chance to apologize, but I will keep trying. Wherever you are, and whoever you are now, I am so sorry for what I put you through. I hope one day I can try to repay you for the damage I caused.